Welcome back to the Talking Sports Podcast, hosted by Peter DiBiasi and John Rocco Trumpbour, right here on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. And as always, sponsored by UnderDog Fantasy. Use code TSP. Guys, welcome back to the part 2 of our NBA draft coverage right here on YouTube, the visual portion of our episode, or if you're on the audio portion, Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If you just came from the NBA draft superlatives, hopefully you guys enjoyed that. That was a fun episode for Jara and I. We had 5 different categories. We had 5 different players for each of us, and that was kind of fun. So this is now our typical NBA draft episode. If you guys been here for the last 3 years, we've done this style of episode for a couple years. We do an NBA draft episode. We also do an NFL draft episode, and we keep it as simple. I have the first pick. San Antonio Spurs have the first pick. I'll give you who the first pick is. Then JR has the second pick. I have the third. JR has the fourth, and you guys get that. It's kind of simple. We don't each choose one. We don't each choose 2. We kind of just go at each other, and it's kind of fun because we don't know who's going to get picked before us, and we kind of have to make an on-the-fly decision. But before we do that, JR, how you doing?
Doing good. Ready for this mock. I'm excited.
Before we get into that, tell everyone about social media and who we are sponsored by.
Yeah, guys, we are on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Talking Sports PD. Please follow us. More content other than just our YouTube podcast and or just our podcast in general. Really appreciate trying to grow, on these social media platforms. So hit us with the follow. And like Pete mentioned before, we're sponsored by UnderDog Sports. So if you haven't used UnderDog Sports yet, great. Make an account. Use promo code TSP while making that account. And UnderDog Sports will match your first deposit 100%, 10 for 10. So you got 20 in the account to, play with. So use code TSP to get that, promotion. And Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you don't listen on YouTube and you're in the car. And then, at Talking Sports PD on all social media platforms, TikTok, Twitter, and Instagram.
Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We are almost at
50 away around.
Yeah, we're almost at 3K. Keep doing your thing, everyone. We appreciate all the support. Drop a like, drop a comment. Yeah, and if you missed the US Open episode, go back and watch that. If you missed the NBA draft superlatives, go back and watch that. Or if you want to watch this first, and then at the end, this will come up. NBA draft superlatives on the end screen. You can click that and go watch it. That's about a 40-minute episode. So we're going to try to keep this not as long. We can't physically go over an hour because we don't want to pay extra for StreamYard. So we can't. So we're going to keep it under an hour. Yeah, budget.
Once we get the 3K, though. No.
Yeah, use UnderDog Fantasy. Help the budget grow. So, oh, jeez. I'm going to start with me. This is what happens when you lose your mind. Recording podcast and podcast after each other. So usually JR starts, but I want to give him the Thunder pick at 12. The Bulls pick at 10, but no, they don't because the Bulls like to be annoying and drive my fandom crazy. So I'm going to start here. The San Antonio Spurs have the number 1 pick in the draft. And I don't have to talk about this. They're going to go Victor Wembanyama from France, the consensus number 1 player in the draft. Probably would have been the consensus number 1 player in the draft last year, the year before, and the year before. This guy does everything 7'5", has the height, and I don't need to go into this. You guys know this is not a shocker. So Victor Wembanyama is going to be the first pick in the draft.
Yeah, no one kind of took me by surprise there.
Oh, did I? Okay. We're going to be moving
for this, but I'm just joking. At number
2, the Charlotte Hornets. Jared, what do we got?
Yeah, so I mean, obviously, there's kind of 2 people that have been, flip-flop for this position. But I'm going to go best player available, and that is Scoot Henderson. Pair him along with LaMelo Ball. Some may say, you don't want to pair 2 point guards together, but I think they're so different that it'll work, and their play styles are just totally different. And you're just going with the best player. You don't want to regret not picking, what could have been later down the years. So I'm going Scoot. He's crazy develop. Fun fact about Scoot, one of my friends sent me the other day. During COVID, scouts had said he developed much higher than his peers or the other players from his class because his dad owns a gym. So he had access to a gym during the pandemic when a lot of players couldn't. So he was in there every day. So that was kind of a fun fact during that time. It kind of helped him out. But yeah, Scoot reminds me of like a Russell Westbrook, fast, quick, strong, explosive. So yeah, I'm going Scoot with the Hornets pick at number 2.
I'm going to pair him with LaMelo and company. We're going to move down the draft board. Number 3, Portland Trailblazers. Big offseason for them. What do they do with Dame? Not big offseason. They have to probably do something with Dame if they're going to do something soon. So Dame is a factor in this. But Jared taking Scoot Henderson makes this pick really easy. I'm going to go Brandon Miller, small forward, freshman out of Alabama. And Brandon Miller from Alabama has a little bit of off the court concerns. We know what happened with him, but all the talent in the world, all that. So I think Brandon Miller has a chance, and Jared's slacking on the banners. Nice job, Jared.
Oh, shit. My bad.
You're good. You're good. Brandon Miller from Alabama averaged 18.8 points a game, 2 assists, 8 rebounds. And I think the Blazers take best player available, right? It's not going to be Wemby, and it's going to be either Scoot or Brandon Miller. You went Scoot, made my life a little easier. I'm going Brandon Miller at 3 to the Blazers. The Blazers get a really, really good win.
And a position they really kind of need.
Yes.
Desperate for. Not desperate, but yeah, I like that pick. So now I'm at number 4. You could say it. Yeah.
Okay. Number 4 with the Houston Rockets coming off taking Jabari Smith in last year's draft. Jared, what do we got them?
Yeah, so this is interesting. I think after the top 3, it kind of is up in the air. This is a hard one, but I'm going to take someone with high potential. I'm going to take Amon Thompson. He's got the athleticism. He's got, he's very raw in a way, but he's shown he could score. The only thing he lacks is shooting. But pairing him up with I think they're set for a very young core, so they could take a little time to develop. So him, Jalen Green, Jabari Smith, like you said, they'll be able to grow as a core, even like Kevin Porter Jr. I think this could give him a lot of versatility on offensive side and defensive side. So there's a lot of hate. He was from overtime. Like, who knows? He wasn't really playing against college level or he was playing against college level, I guess, but not great talent on the other side. But when he did play like professional teams, like I think they played some of the NBL teams, he showed up. So it's not like his performance dropped off when he played better comp. But yeah, the Thompson twins are up in the air. No one really knows what they expect. But after, I was kind of down on him, but after watching him, hearing people talk about him, I do kind of see this happening at number 4.
At number 5, the Detroit Pistons. We got Katie Cunningham. We have Jaden Ivey, Sadiq Bey, Jalen Duren. This is a young, I think they also have James Wiseman. Yeah,
they did.
This is a young team, and they're going to get a young, athletic wing, and that athletic wing is going to be Cam Whitmore. Small forward from Villanova. Saw him play live. Was an explosive athlete. If you watch the NBA draft superlative, I said he was my highest risk draft prospect, but he still should be a top 7, top 8 pick. This guy can score. This guy takes shots like an NBA player. He jumps out of the building. The one thing with Cam Whitmore you want to be careful with is the fact that he is not an efficient enough scorer. Consistent enough score from game to game, and he doesn't defend well, but he has all the NBA tools, and he has the NBA shot-making tools. So I got Cam Whitmore go at 5 to the Detroit Pistons, pairing up with Ivy and Kate Cunningham.
Yeah, I definitely I like Cam Whitmore a lot. I think they could end up being a dangerous lineup later on.
JR, number 6, the Orlando Magic, who's pairing up with Paolo Banchero, Jalen Suggs, Cole Anthony, all that.
Yeah, so this is a hard one. They could go two different ways here, but I like they're going to develop the team around Paolo.
Hmm.
They kind of have just kind of young stars. They've been playing really well, and I'm going to complement that with one of the best overall players in this draft. Someone you mentioned as in the previous video, and that is Anthony Black. I think, they have a scorer, they have multiple scorers, but just someone that could be a glue guy and like have a high ceiling that just could raise the level of everyone else around him defensively too. Could be a defensive stopper for the team. I was thinking maybe going like a forward here, but then they have Paulo, they have Bol, they have Franz Wagner. I think that's a position that they're okay with right now, and I think he's one of the best players available overall. I think he could be the glue guy and kind of help quickly develop this whole team as a whole. So I'm going Anthony Black here. This is number 6.
Yeah. 6 to the Orlando Magic. I like that pick. Big combo guard, kind of like a Josh Giddey type of
something they don't really have right.
Yeah.
They Cole Anthony, they Markel Fultz, who kind of is a
Jalen Suggs combo guard.
Jalen Suggs was. Yeah.
I think it gives you a lot of length. Black and Boncaro. I think
gives you versatility with lineups as well.
100%. Number 7, the Indiana Pacers are on the clock. So I was thinking Anthony Black there, but they also have Tyrese Halliburton, so I don't know if they wanted to go a true point guard. I'm going to go Asir Thompson, the second twin of Amen Thompson. Like Jarace said, overtime elite player. He's 6'7". He's a shooting guard. I would say he's a step below his brother, but it's not
more
crazy
of a
different
playmaker than a scorer compared to his brother.
Yeah, Asir Thompson, if we're going per game stats, was 16 points, 7 rebounds, 6 assists. Very similar stats to his brother. It's wild.
Yeah, I know.
It's wild. So I do think his brother's a little better, but I think they needed a guard. I don't think they need a point guard, and I think Asir Thompson is that style of play they like. Like Chris Duarte. The Pacers need talent, right? Like you have Tyrese Halliburton, and then it's not a lot of talent. Like Chris Duarte is like 25, 26, right? I feel like this is a type of team that needs talent. So you go best player available, in my opinion, left on the board, no matter what position, and that's Asir Thompson.
I like that pick. I was going to pick him for the team next.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So that kind of.
So we're going to keep moving down the list. Wizards are at 8. Biggest thing, what do they do with Bradley Beal? We don't know, but Jared, what do they do at 8?
Yeah, so Wizards is in a weird transition right now. Looks like Beal might be on his way out. Kuzma probably. So they're going to start a rebuild. So with the rebuild, I think you take best player available and someone that can kind of take the reins, whether it be a scorer, defense, or it could just be that guy for the team. And this is a guy who doesn't have the huge name coming out of college, but I've grown to love him a lot. I don't even think he's going to fall this far. Just happened in our mock draft. He did. And I think that's Taylor Hendricks from UCF. I think this guy, he's shown defensive flashes. He's shown he's a 6'9" player that could pull up from 3 off the ball dribble, and off the dribble, not off the ball dribble. But I like this guy a lot. I think he's got so much potential on the offensive side. He's got so much potential on the defensive side. And at 8, I think he's definitely the best player available. And someone, rather than Jarace Walker, this guy could kind of potentially control the offense. So as a Wizards, this guy could be the foundation for your rebuild. Yeah.
100%. They could also maybe go, I think if like the Thompson twins were there, obviously.
I was going to go with Sar Thompson.
Like you just said. Yeah. Number 9, the Utah Jazz are in a full-blown rebuild, but actually were probably a little better than I think we all thought. They shipped off Gobert. They shipped out Donovan Mitchell. Did they make the play-in or did they just miss the play-in?
Is that the Jazz? They missed the play. The Jazz?
Oh, what is wrong with me? They're not. Yeah. But they were in the play-in for a while. Like they were. Yeah. They were marketing. Who was good
early in the season. Yeah.
They got 2 clear-cut. Can you hear my lawnmower going behind right now?
No.
Awesome. Good. You can hear 2 clear-cut needs, in my opinion, center and shooting guard, the 2 positions they kind of traded here. So I'm gonna pass on Jarace Walker here at 9.
Ooh.
I'm going bold because they're going need over best player available, and I'm going someone that has one of the lowest ceilings, but I think could be a productive NBA player.
I know you're going.
And that is Grady Dick.
Oh, okay.
The shooting guard from Kansas averaged 14 points a game, a little under 2 assists, 5 rebounds, efficient field goal percentage of 44.2. This guy, I said in the NBA Superlatives episode, is going to come in and be a legit catch and shoot 3-point shooter and has the potential to grow into more of an NBA playmaker. This might be a bit high for Grady Dick. It might just be a bit, but I think he comes in and is a really productive 3-point shooter. So I like Grady Dick at 9 for the Utah Jazz.
Yeah, I like that pick. I feel like that's just like a Jazz pick too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going here to number 10, the Dallas Mavericks, a massively disappointing team here. Luka Doncic still on the roster. Should they bring back Kyrie? They failed to make the play-in after trading for Kyrie. Jared, what do they do at 10?
Yeah, so they could go multiple ways here. I mean, I really like that. Remember Jaden Hardy last year? I love that pick. I think he still has potential. So I think they're good with the guards, rather unless it's a like an off-ball 3-point 3-and-D type player. We don't know what's going to happen with Christian Wood, but it could go more of a scorer. It could go more of a defender. I think this team, I really want to go Jarace Walker because I think he's best player available right now. But I'm going to go Dariq Lively. Get this team a rim protector, a big man, someone that could catch, lobs right out of the gate. I think he just brings defense. I don't know. He's going to develop, definitely. It's going to take 2 to 3 years for him to become what we expect Dariq Lively to be. But I think offensive aside, you know what you're getting defensively. And for a team like the Mavericks who are trying to compete, they're going to need a rim protector and something that could lock down a big, get rebounds. Because I think scoring-wise, they have no problem. It's on the defensive side. That's where they don't really have defensive players. So I think Dariq Lively, interesting pick here. I've actually never even considered this until just now.
Yeah, that's why I love this style of draft.
Yeah, I'm going to go Dariq Lively.
So, number 11, the Orlando Magic. I'm not saying with this selection they're going to win the draft because once you get Victor, Scoot, and Brandon Miller, it's hard to lose that draft, in my opinion, especially Victor. But they're going to win the draft outside of the top 2-3 teams that are easy picks.
Yeah.
They went Anthony Black with Jared's first pick, right?
Yeah.
6. And Jared left Jarace Walker on the board. Too good to pass up. This Magic pick is from the Bulls, so this pisses me off just a little more. If the Magic end up with Jarace Walker, I'm going to be very annoyed because the Bulls could have Jarace Walker, but no, we got Nikola Vucevic. Only averaged 11 points a game at Houston, 6.8 rebounds, but he was on a Houston team that was veteran loaded, talented loaded, and wasn't asked to do a lot. Efficient field goal percentage of 46.5, 6'7", 233. This guy is built like a tank. I think this guy's coming from a winning culture. I think if you're the Magic, you need more winning players. And if you walk away with Anthony Black and Jarace Walker in this draft, A+. Yeah. So I got Jarace Walker at 11.
I like that. I was so tempted to pick him last night.
I know. I almost picked him at 9, but I took Grady Dick. Yeah. So
I thought you were going to pick Lively at 9.
Well, I thought about center or shooting guard, right? And those are the 2 big needs. And I thought Lively a little too early for Lively, but that was just me. Maybe too early for Grady Dick. So they were kind of in a weird spot where they probably should go Jarace Walker, just best player available, and just make it work after that. Jared, it's your team. I saved this for you, man. Yeah. Who are the Oklahoma City Thunder taking at 12?
Yeah, so I'm going to go very
you seem confident right now.
Yeah, I know I would love this pick if it happens.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
have a quick question before you keep going. Would you take Jarace Walker if he was here at 12?
Yeah, that's why if you didn't take him there, I was like, okay, I have to take.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Keep going.
But this is a guy who I wouldn't even mind taking over Jarace if it happened. I see the potential. He reminds me of like a Chris Bosh in a way, and that is Leonard Miller from G League Ignite. This is one of the guys that when I've been, studying the mock drafts and prospects, this guy's been a top 5 favorite of mine. I love his size. I love his ability on offensive side. He's a good defender. He's an okay defender. He's got to work on that a lot. Only thing is, I think it would be sick to pair him and Chet together, but he would have to definitely become a better defender. He could shoot the 3. He's great with the dribble. He's like a point forward at 6, whatever he is, 6'10", 6'9". Average 18 a game with a night, 13 rebounds. He could shoot. I think this would be just cool. We got like a Chet and Leonard Miller.
That'd be dope, yeah.
It would make teams have to like play small to us, and we're already big. All our bigs could shoot the 3 and just athletic. Mm-hmm. I think this would be really. He's a Canadian. Pair him with Bay and Lou Dort. But yeah, I would be excited if Leonard Miller falls to us.
Number 13, the Toronto Raptors. We're almost done the lottery. We're at 13 and we're at 14 and the lottery ends itself. Toronto Raptors at 13 need a point guard and they need a center. So I thought about Dariq Whitehead here. Obviously, he went off the board a couple picks ago. The Mavericks at 10. Nick Smith Jr., 6'5" point guard from Arkansas. I think this is another. So Arkansas has 2 lottery picks in this draft, producing some very Eric Musselman at Arkansas produces some legit NBA players here. I think a long point guard. I think they need a point guard, right? Fred VanVleet is opting out of his contract, right? I think if you compare him with Pascal Siakam, Scotty Barnes, and you kind of give that point guard because they don't have one. So I think Nick Smith flies in there perfectly. I almost went Cason Wallace. I just like Nick Smith just a bit better than where I like Cason Wallace. So Nick Smith at 13, in my opinion.
I like that. Nick Smith gives me that Jamal Murray type of feel 100%. Where he could develop into a really good scorer.
So we're going to the final pick of the lottery. Yeah. The New Orleans Pelicans, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, CJ McCollum. This team is talented. Is this next pick going to put him over the hump? Jared, what do we got?
Yeah, this is a hard pick here because who even knows what's going to – I mean, the Zion rumors right now, but no, like the trade rumors.
Oh, I thought there was some other rumors.
The other rumors is another thing. But
none of our business
will be on the team. Or him or Brandon Ingram, whichever one they decide to maybe part ways with. They have a great core, just injuries, concern. So I'm going to go with Dariq Whitehead. I said it. The only thing about this pick is I say injuries have been a concern for them, and this is a guy who's been known to be injured in college. So that's the only thing where they probably might not go with him. But I think no matter what happens with Ingram or Williams, you're getting a guy who could be a primary scorer for a team, I believe, or at least second option coming in. Not coming in as a primary, but will develop into a primary scorer. I think this is just a talent that – what pick is this, 13?
14.
Hard to pass up. Injuries have been a concern. If they like what they've seen in the pre-draft process from him and aren't concerned with the injuries, this is a perfect pick for them. Just gives them more versatility on the offense. If Zion goes down or if Ingram goes down, they still have someone. I mean, they have McCollum, but they still have someone like Whitehead who could get a bucket. But yeah, I think this could be a good pick. I'm high on this guy. Just the concerns with injuries.
Yeah, 100%. Moving outside and you love Dariq Whitehead. We've learned from your NBA Draft Superlative episode.
I do.
Moving outside the lottery, the Atlanta Hawks at 15. This is an interesting, right? Because they potentially have a point guard issue if they move off of Trae Young, but I don't think they move off of Trae Young right away. I think they're going to go a shooting guard here. And I'm between 2 people. I'm going to go the Baylor freshman, Keontae George, at 15 to the Atlanta Hawks. Averaged 15 points a game at Baylor, a little more than 2.5 assists, 4 rebounds, and an efficient field goal percentage of 37.6. He needs to shoot the ball better. He needs to be more an efficient shooter. But, Jared, this is a guy that was once projected a clear-cut top 10 pick.
Yeah.
He still has the talent to be a top 10 pick. It's just He's a little undersized with the 2 guard, doesn't play a pure point. If he can turn into a combo guard, I think he becomes a very dynamic NBA player. But the Hawks need scoring at the 2 position. They don't really have a clear-cut 2 guard, in my opinion. I know they have DeJounte Murray and Trae Young, but I think they need a 2 guard. And I think that guy is Keontae George, has a 5-star potential, has all the talent, still averaged 15 points a game in college. So I really like Keontae George at 15 for the Atlanta Hawks.
Yeah.
Okay. Utah Jazz, the 16th pick. This pick is via the Minnesota Timberwolves. They already took Grady Dick at 9. Jared, what are we doing here at 16 for the Utah Jazz?
Yeah, so, you already got that forward that they need.
Huh?
They got a lot of good guards.
I took Grady Dick for the Jazz at 9.
Yeah, the forward.
Isn't he a guard?
He's 6'8".
Okay. Small forward.
I don't know. Yeah.
Sorry. When I hear forward, I just think like back to that.
No. So they have good talent, point guard wise, but all their point guards are mostly just scorers. But Clarkson's like a shooting guard, but Colin Sexton. I think I'm gonna go a point guard that is more defensive minded. I want to go big man here, but I don't know. Just looking at the draft board is just a little stretch. Yeah, if anything, I'd trade back. I'm gonna go Cason Wallace, point guard. They have scoring with their guards, and who knows, Clarkson, Sexton's future with this team as they rebuild. But I think this is a guy who can bring more than just scoring to the team and bring more of just like a team efficiency with him. He's going to play hard. He's going to guard, play defense. He's quick, and he has offense. Don't get me wrong. So yeah, I'm going Cason Wallace here. Another Kentucky guard. The Kentucky guards always end up
not a bad option to take a Kentucky guard. Jamal Murray just won the NBA championship. Devin Booker, John Wall, Shea, all that.
Fox.
Yeah,
we can go on.
Yeah. Lakers at 17. And Jerry, you just mentioned the Jazz, maybe center, right? Like that's what you were thinking. I'm thinking center for the Lakers too, but I don't see anybody on the board right now.
Yeah, that
I'm loving at 17 for the Lakers.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go, quote unquote, best player available here. And I'm going to go a shooting guard because I think they do need guard help, right? Like I think D'Lo's gone. I think it's Davis and I think it's LeBron. Obviously, they have Austin Reeves, but I think they need another 2 guard. UConn, national champion winner, Jordan Hawkins. This is a guy that I think has a chance to be very overrated, but at 17, he just became underrated.
Yeah.
Right? Like he just flipped the narrative. He's 17. He's a sophomore, 20 years old, averaged 16 points a game, 3.8 rebounds, 1.3 assists, and had an efficient field goal percentage of 40.9. He's a winner. Won a national championship. One of the key pieces to the national championship team. I think this is a type of LeBron player that he would like, and I think he fits right into the system. So I got Jordan Hawkins at 17.
Yeah, I like that pick. I would have done the same exact pick as you, honestly. I was thinking Jordan Hawkins when Lakers were up, so good pick.
Miami Heat at 18. Just lose the NBA Finals. Do they get Dame? Do they get Bradley Beal? But what do they add with this 18th pick that might not be theirs eventually, potentially?
Yeah, so this one is interesting because, they can go with a scorer, playmaking scorer, because they're surrounded by shooters with Jimmy and Bam. But then they're also surrounded by shooters. So, scoring wasn't huge. It was an issue, but Jimmy can't be a primary option. But I don't think at this late in the round you're going to.
That's why you go get Dame or Bradley Beal.
Exactly. I don't think you'll be able to find someone better than Jimmy's primary scorer.
No.
If he was maybe like Scoot or like Brandon Miller, maybe. But I'm going to go defense. And here's a guy that not really heard of, but I think he's a really good defensive player. It's Side Sissoko from G League Ignite. He's from France. I think he's one of the best defenders in the draft. He's got size 6'6", 6'7", 224 pounds. He's a lengthy forward, athletic, and someone that varies from their shooters. Because off the bench, they got, depending on who's starting, like on their team, they've got Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, Max Strus, all like shooters. And Caleb Martin now, who's kind of more of a playmaker, so they kind of have that. He might get the bag this offseason. But yeah, I'm going C.J. Sissoko. I think he's an interesting pick. I just my gut.
Yeah. 19 with the Golden State Warriors. I have no idea. Like, no idea. I think they could go a big. I still don't love the big depth in this class.
I don't either.
It's like Dariq Whitehead
too.
What?
The bigs are changing. Now you got like Wembanyama, who's like not even like he's a big, but he's like shooter.
19. You know what? I have my idea. 19. This might be a bit of a reach. 6'8" power forward. I know height changes throughout different websites. That's annoying, but I'm going on what website I'm in. 6'8" power forward. His brother was drafted last year, and that's going to be Kris Murray, the junior from Iowa. He averaged 20 points a game from Kris Murray. Yeah. Did not see that coming. 2 assists, 7.9 rebounds a game, 47.6 efficient field goal percentage, 6'8", 225, and he's 21 years old. He's one of those guys that, like, they drafted Wiseman, already shipped him off. Kuminga and Moses Moody. I still have a lot of hope for Kuminga being a legit NBA player, but this is more of a veteran-led and leader player. Comes in right behind Draymond, gives them depth. Their biggest needs, in my opinion, are big. They really don't have true bigs. I don't think there's a center you want to take here at 19. So they kind of go that undersized power forward, Jared, that has worked so perfectly with Draymond. I think Kris Murray fits into that perfectly. And Jared, he also averaged 20 points a game last year. Like, he was a good scorer. And we also met him at a Yankee game last year.
Yeah, we thought it was his brother.
We thought it was Keegan Murray. I said, hey, what's up? And it was Kris Murray. So we did meet him. So we have insides. No, that's good. Yeah. We just went him once. So, yeah, 19 for the Warriors. I think they go Kris Murray.
I like that. He's got a high floor. Like, he's
not superstar potential.
But he's like, you know what you're getting at.
Well, we said that with Keegan. I thought Keegan had a pretty good rookie year with the Kings.
Yeah. But, I mean, we still know Keegan's not superstar.
Correct. We said that. We did say that, too, when we did our draft episode last year. Number 20, the Houston Rockets. They already selected. Who was their fourth pick?
Amon Thompson.
And this pick is via the Los Angeles Clippers. Jared, what do we got at 20?
Yeah, so, I mean, they got scoring with their guards. I picked Amon Thompson. So I'm gonna go, more of a big type. And one that stands out, I think the best one right here is Noah Clowney from Alabama. 6'10", 210. He's a good rim protector. He could shoot the three, surprisingly. I think he shot, what was it? I guess he shot 28%. But I mean, he took but my thing is he wasn't taking just 1 3 a game. He took 3 threes a game. So I don't know, maybe it's something you could work on, become like a high, mid, low 30 3-point shooter. But that's also not why you're drafting him. They have Alperian Sengun, but like that's their only like true big. But it shows potential. I don't know. I think getting some depth with the big men is a big thing for a developing team.
Brooklyn Nets. Back-to-back picks here. They're picking at 21. This pick is via the Phoenix Suns with the Kevin Durant trade. And then they're picking at 22 with their own trade. No, wouldn't it be? Where do they get the 22nd pick from? No, they made the playoffs. I forgot the Nets made the playoffs. Yeah. Holy crap. They made the playoffs. So, yeah, their own pick 22. Now they're picking 21. This player, in my opinion, is too good to pass up. I don't know if they need a point guard. Yeah, I think they could use a point guard. So I'm going Jalen Hood Schifino.
Why did you say it like that?
What? There's a hyphen.
I know, Jalen Hood Schifino.
Do we have him on our order?
Yeah.
Okay. Average 13.5 points per game, 3.7 assists, 4.1 rebounds, and it shot an efficient field goal percentage of 41.7. 6'5", 200. 19 years old. I think he's one of those long guards. I think he's still behind like the Cason Wallaces, the Anthony Blacks, the Nick Smith, those type of guards in this draft. But I think at 21, it's hard to pass up on him, in my opinion. And I know a lot of Indiana fans like him, along with Trace Jackson Davis. So I think this is the type of guy that I think slides into the back end of the first round. I think the Nets get a very versatile point guard at 21. with Jalen Hood Shafino.
Yeah.
So, Jared, we're both the Nets GM right now. They just went Jalen Hood Shafino. Who are they going at 22?
Yeah, so at 22, I mean, you got their point guard. They Mikal Bridges, who they look like they're going to build the team around a little bit. But I think you got to get another scorer in there. And I'm going to pick Brice Sensabaugh from Ohio State. Strong two-guard. I think he'll be in the league. Great scorer. Averaged 16 a game on 24.5 minutes at Ohio State. Shot 48% and 40% from three. It's an all-around great scorer. Someone that, Nets are in a weird situation where they don't have like a primary scorer. I mean, Mikal Bridges is, shined over there, but get a guy like Brice Sensabaugh. You could put these an ISO score, and that's what the NBA is turning into. So I think that's a great value for 22nd pick.
Mm-hmm.
So I think you just can't pass up on that.
Yeah, 100%. Portland Trailers, not a team. This is what happens when you record two podcasts in one day. The Portland Trailblazers here at 23, they already went Brandon Miller. Right? Yeah, Brandon Miller. We went Scoot to Brandon Miller.
Yeah.
They're going to move off Dame.
Oh.
Move off Dame. Now, I'm not saying this is going to be the point guard of the future, but I'm fitting the position here. Kobe Buffkin.
Okay.
Point guard from
Michigan.
I don't know why I'm talking like that. 6'4". Jay, you had him. Where'd you have him in your superlatives? Overrated.
Overrated. Yeah, I'm not a fan.
Not a fan.
People had him going to like the Thunder at 12.
But remember we said if you get him in the 20s, that's okay. I think.
Yeah. I'm not
23 to the Blazers. This is, I guess, he gets a comparison because he played at the same school as Jordan Poole. But the Blazers are going to need a point guard, even if they don't pass up or move Dame. They need a point guard of the future, right?
Yeah.
And if they don't get Scoot at 3 in this draft, they don't, because Scoot goes 2 to the Hornets, and we get Brandon Miller. They get Brandon Miller at 3. They walk away with a point guard. That's Kobe Buffkin. So they're going to walk away in this draft with Kobe Buffkin and Brandon Miller.
I like that pick. Good
24.
Value. Yeah.
Jared, what do we got at 24 for the Sacramento Kings?
Yeah, this is the team that just shined last year out of nowhere. They got De'Aaron Fox and Sabonis, which is a really good core for a young team to grow around for a championship roster. I'm going to go a guy gives me like a Marcus Morris kind of comparison. I'm going to go G.G. Jackson. I think he's a guy with one of the higher potentials in this draft, but also could be very risky. He's a good scorer. He's got good size. He's 6'8", 214, 15 points a game, 6 rebounds in college. Mm-hmm. Could shoot the 3. Hopefully he shot 32%, which is not bad. I think this is a guy who could end up being maybe like a third option for the Kings. I mean, I know they got Malik, but someone who could, give De'Aaron Fox a break and kind of take control of the offense later on his career. I think it's a very high potential and someone who could average high teens, 20 points per game if reaches their potential.
Yeah. 25, the Memphis Grizzlies. They got a lot of John Moran issues. We're still waiting for that quote-unquote suspension that we all think is going to come down eventually. This is interesting. I think they're going to go forward here. Excuse me. And I think they're going to go a guy that Jared talked about before, Bilal Koulibaly.
God damn.
I'm sorry, man. Bilal Koulibaly from France, 6'7". Played on the same team as Victor, or plays on the same team as Victor. So he's not as highly as regarded as Victor because nobody is, but he's a guy that's going to fly under the radar and that's going to sneak into the 20s. So I think a guy that's long, lengthy, 6'7", probably needs to score a little better, but we've talked about this. Scoring in Europe is a little different than scoring in the NBA. Yeah. A little tougher to score in Europe. Mm-hmm. And Luka wasn't an incredible scorer. Like Jokic wasn't an incredible scorer. So I think Bilal Koulibaly kind of fits into that. They could go point guard here, but I don't love the point guards on the board at this point. So I think they go Bilal Koulibaly and try to help that wing and replace potentially Dylan Brooks.
Yeah. Not a bad pick. A lot of potential there.
What are we at? 20, 26. We're almost there. We get to 30. 26. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this episode. Drop a like, drop a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. As always, everything in the description. JR, 26, Indiana Pacers, and this is via the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah. So you had them picking Ausar Thompson, correct? Earlier in the draft?
Yes.
Yeah, I believe so.
Yes.
So that kind of gives them that forward type. Again, they can go big man here. I mean, they got Miles Turner, but he's always in trade talks, and you need depth, especially at this part of the draft.
Yeah.
I'm gonna swing for the fences. Not swing for the fences here, but to take a bold risk. I feel like this is like a Pacers type of player, and he's kind of like a almost do everything gadget guy.
Mm-hmm.
That is Brandon Podziemski from Santa Clara. This guy averaged 20 points per game. He was originally from Illinois, averaged 20 points per game in Santa Clara, 9 rebounds, 4 assists. He shot 43% from 3, 48% from the field. I think he's 26 player efficiency. He's a guy that, the Pacers have Halliburton. They've Heald, but Heald's just proven to be just a shooter. Benedict Mathurin looks promising, but someone who could come off the bench, kind of play that TJ McConnell role that they have, maybe take the reins from him. But I don't know. I can see the Pacers swinging for the fences a little bit with this pick.
Yeah, 100%. This pick, I think that's a good pick. They went Ausar Thompson. You're 26. You got a proven scorer in college. Not a bad idea. We talked about that. Get some proven scorers here instead of getting pure, just high prospect value guys. 27, Charlotte Hornets. This pick is via the Denver Nuggets. They already went scoop. So they already did their thing. Now they're going back to 27. I think they need a big. They need a big. And I'm going James Naji, 6'10", from, I believe that's Nigeria, right?
Oh, yeah, but I think he's playing at Barcelona.
Barcelona, right? Yes. 6'10", 225. They don't really have, I didn't think they had a true big man, right? I think this is the type of guy that is going to take a long time to develop, right? He's not a scorer.
Mm-hmm.
He's a rim protector. He's a defender. They already went kind of like their pure, premier pick with Scoot at 2. They have LaMelo. They have PJ Washington. But who's your center right now?
The
Hornets.
Hornets centers, I believe it's not PJ Washington.
No, he's their 4.
I'll figure it out. Someone we know.
It's
not Kai Jones, Mark Williams,
Nick Richards, and Kai Jones.
So honestly, yeah, they definitely
needed a big man. I think they go, but this is a tough pick at 27. It kind of fits into that kind of Mark Williams kind of range here.
Yeah.
But it's a rim protector, it's a defender, and a guy that's only 18, that's 6'10", 225, that has a chance to develop potentially into a solid NBA player. So I think they go 27, James Naji.
Yeah, I like that pick. Definitely needed a center after looking at their centers.
Yes. 28, Utah Jazz. This pick is via the Philadelphia 76ers. The Utah Jazz already went 9 with Grady Dick. And then who'd you have him taking at 16?
I think Cason Wallace, I believe.
Yes. So they went Grady Dick. They went Cason Wallace. How do they round out their first round of their draft?
I think you could never have too many forwards on your team. So you had him go guard forwards. It's just wings. You had him going Grady Dick, and then I picked Cason as point guard. But their other forward besides Dick right now would be they don't even have Vanderbilt anymore. But so they're kind of needing another wing because Walker Kessler looks pretty young and good, promising. I'm gonna pick 6'6" guard / forward from Pepperdine, Maxwell Lewis. This guy, he could shoot the 3. He's a good defender. He's kind of like I'm not going to compare him to Cam Reddish, but he's got that length, athletic Cam Reddish type feel to him. I think he's a good role player for a team growing and kind of trying to like build a foundation.
Mm-hmm.
I think you can never have too many wings, and I think Jazz are kind of lacking that a little bit. So give him Maxwell Lewis, the pair along Dick. Get ready, Dick. Yeah. I think you just say it like that.
You're killing me. 29 as we round out this draft with one more pick with the Clippers at 30. 29, Indiana Pacers via the Boston Celtics. They already won a Sir Thompson. Jared, who did they go at 26? I know we just said it, but I completely forgot. It was you. That's what I'm asking you. I completely blanked on it.
That was me.
I know.
I think I went Brandon Podziemski.
Brandon Podziemski
from Santa Clara.
So let's see. I'm just looking at my board. Sorry. Give me a second here. 29. They want Sir Thompson. They want Brandon Podziemski. Let's see what we got here for the Pacers. I think they go. I'm like, we're in this part of the draft where it's tough.
Yeah.
Right? Like they could go. I like Maxwell Lewis a lot here. But I'm going to go someone that I talked about in the previous podcast, someone that I really like. A forward, a power forward, could be an undersized power forward, could be a normal-sized small forward. That is Jalen Wilson from Kansas. 6'7", junior, 21 years old, averages 20.1 points per game, 2.2 assists, 8 rebounds, efficient field goal percentage of 43. Look, is this a reach? It might be, but I think this is a solid NBA player that comes in and brings you legit NBA scoring. He's a veteran leader. He's a winner. He's a veteran player. I think if you're the Pacers, you already want Thompson, so you kind of have like that young guy that you're going to develop. So I think this is the pick where you want to go kind of more of a veteran leader, and I think that's Jalen Wilson at 29. And that's it for me for the draft. So, JR, bring it home. LA Clippers at 30. This pick is via the Milwaukee Bucks.
Yeah, so this, very talented team. Always struggle with injury down the stretch. Russell, hopefully, maybe he'll stay there. I think he will. So you have Russell, Kawhi, Paul George. They got a talented roster here.
Mm-hmm.
Zubac has shown promise. Mason Plumlee's been playing well. So I think this is kind of just best ready player available here. And I'm going to have to go. I want to go Jet Howard here. But I'm going to go.
So not Jet Howard.
Not Jet Howard.
Man, you're milking this.
Yeah. I'm going to go Jaime Jaquez.
Jeez.
Yeah. I know he's a great passer. He's developed already. He could play bigger than he is. Good shooter. I think this is just a player you could take off the bench and he could be just a great filler. Yeah, I wanted to go best ready because they're a competing team. They're not going to take a guy like he's not out there, but Koulibaly or Ryan Rupert from Australia.
Mm-hmm.
They want someone who's ready to play. And I was thinking him or like Strother, someone like that. Kobe Jones maybe. But yeah, I'm going Jaime Jaquez here. I could also see him going maybe Jordan Walsh. This one was probably my hardest pick. But Jaime is the pick.
Fair enough. And that is going to do it for this draft episode. And that's going to conclude our NBA draft coverage. We did NBA draft superlatives. We did our NBA mock draft like we always do. That's it for the NBA draft. Now it's just going to sit back and watch and see where we're right and see where we're wrong. JR, tell everyone where they can follow us on social media and plug our sponsor.
Yeah. Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Talking Sports PD. Yeah. Follow us for more content other than just YouTube. And then our sponsor, UnderDog Sports, UnderDog Fantasy. Creating a new account, use promo code TSP and receive 100% back deposit, 100% match of your deposit. Great way to make money. Just have fun watching sports. And then, yeah, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, we're on all those platforms. And please, we're like 50 subscribers away from 3,000.
Please do it. Please subscribe.
Be huge. So if you're listening to this, just and you like it, just hit the subscribe. It means a lot to us. Almost there. But yeah, thank you for watching.
Yep. And always, everything's in the description. TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. If you prefer the YouTube version, you can watching us right now. Like and comment. Like Jarace said, subscribe. Almost at 3K. And as always, we are sponsored by UnderDog Fantasy. Use code TSP. And yeah, make sure you guys follow all our content throughout the summer. All social media, more podcasts, some interviews potentially coming up. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our NBA draft content. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the NBA draft. The golf will be back with an Open Championship in a couple weeks when it happening. But yeah, that's going to do it. This was the Talking Sports Podcast hosted by Peter DiBiasi and John Rocco Trumpbour. As always, sponsored by UnderDog Fantasy. We'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you.